This is Swiss and Chips, your British guide to Switzerland. Hello and welcome to Swiss and Chips. I'm Jo Fay.
And I'm Simon Sried.
And in this week's episode, we're talking about learning Swiss German by going to an actual Swiss German course.
How comes?
How comes? Because 2 weeks ago, I started a Swiss German course.
Exciting.
After a lot of deliberation, I might add.
Deliberation means?
Thinking about it a lot.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
Big word for big thinking.
Thanks for the small English course.
You're welcome.
So today we talk about you going to the Swiss German course in Migros Klubschule.
Exactly.
What else
we're
are we going to talk about?
We're going to talk about the pros and cons of taking an actual course in learning Swiss German.
We're going to talk about where you can learn it and what to look out for, like...
Yeah, things to bear in mind if you're thinking of taking a course.
Special hurdles. Can I say hurdles?
Not really, but sure.
Oh dear, I should go to an English course.
No. The day I start doing a podcast in Swiss German is the day that you need to go to an English course.
Okay, very good. Thank you very much for the compliment. I'm very confident now to start off and ask you, so how is it like this Swiss German class course thing?
Yeah, well, I've been going for 2 weeks so far, and I must say it is a very weird experience.
That's a bit what I imagined, because maybe to have a small, I really struggle to find words like a in-between information.
Yeah.
A shove-in. No.
I was like, I haven't learned that word yet in Swiss German.
No, an in-between shoved in information. No?
Yeah. On a side note.
Anyway.
Yep.
On a side note, Swiss German is basically one of our national languages. I mean, German is one of our national languages, and Swiss German is the spoken language in the Swiss German part of Switzerland. And it's like kind of like a dialect from the German, from normal German. So Swiss German, that's why I'm adding the side note. I was a bit wondering, what do you learn there exactly? How does a class look like? Because we don't have really grammar, and we have different rules, and every canton, every village is a bit different, and so on and so on and so on. So,
yeah.
Back to you.
Good.
Sorry.
No, that's good. Yeah. So you can only really learn one dialect anyhow. So what I'm learning is Bernese Swiss German.
Yeah, the right one.
Berndeutsch, as we say at the class. And what we do there is we listen to different examples of the spoken language, and that might be a short clip from the TV, or it might be a kind of recorded song or a recorded dialogue, for example. Mm-hmm. And you listen to that and try and understand it at first. And then we listen again, but we get to read a transcript at the same time. Normally.
Okay. Yes.
And then we discuss the things that we didn't understand or so on. Mm-hmm. And then there might be another part of the transcript that we then read between us.
Yes.
So you're kind of approaching understanding the language from all different angles.
So, and with reading in between you also try to talk a little bit. Exactly.
And this is where it got a bit weird for me, because you go in, the teacher's talking to you in Swiss German, albeit very kind of long and slowly and extremely exaggerated. But that's quite fun. And
I thought that would be actually quite helpful if you would talk like this in English to me. So
sure, I can try. But then when he first asked me a question, I was kind of like,
how to reply?
I don't know what to say. I've actually got no idea what to say. So I said in High German, I don't really speak Swiss German, so I don't know what should I say at this point.
Yes.
So that's still quite weird, because some people in the class can already speak Swiss German okay. The words that they know, they can pronounce them. Mm-hmm. Whereas the words that I know, kind of, I also can't pronounce, although I know how they should be pronounced.
They sound correct in your head, but you can't really...
Exactly. I can't say them. It's super strange. Anyhow, so he tries to give you different examples, the teacher, and people can then just give one-word answers, or they can give whole sentence answers.
Okay, so
somehow it kind of works.
But he also teaches you a little bit of kind of Swiss German grammar, or how do I understand? How do I have to, imagine that thing?
Yeah, and exactly.
Is it you have kind of a book or a thing you go after or a plan?
Yeah, so
or?
what happens is they go through different scenarios. So last week we were talking about being at the post office, for example.
Yes.
I can't remember how to say that in Swiss German, so don't ask.
Auf der Post.
Genau. And they go through a small list of vocab, for example, words that you might hear when you're there,
Yes.
and how to say them.
Mm.
And the
Like,
teacher,
give me a stamp.
yeah, exactly. Stamp. What is stamp? And he teaches you the word in Swiss German, then he says what it is in German, and he knows what people's mother tongues are as well.
Okay.
So he might say the word in Swiss German and maybe
French,
show you a
English,
picture.
Arabic,
he might say it in
Japanese,
German, English,
Russian.
French.
Yeah.
Doesn't speak Arabic, but yeah. Just the ones that he happens
Maybe
to
you
know.
just don't understand.
Yeah, true. Could be. And then they go through a little bit of the grammar as well, because there is actually a grammar. Otherwise the language wouldn't have a structure, would it? So there is a set way of the words hanging together. There are different verbs, there are different pronouns. You conjugate the verbs in different ways.
Yeah. But how do you...
But I think it's just maybe simpler than in German.
Okay.
And there's also a book that goes through the course, which I bought at Orel Fuseli.
Orel Fuseli, yes.
Exactly. And it's called Berndeutsch, ein Lehr- und Lernbuch.
So Berndeutsch, that means Bernese German.
Yes.
So there would also be for other parts in Switzerland, Swiss German parts, probably another book.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There might be.
We can link the book maybe on our website. It's called
Yeah, we will.
swissandchips.com, or in our show notes you will find it. So
Exactly. And the interesting thing to say about this book is that it has everything in Swiss German and High German, but you can also have it in Swiss German and English.
Oh, interesting.
We were offered that when we went to the shop, but I went for the German version just to be extra swatty.
So what our listeners would want to know is, can you also just learn it with the book?
Maybe. I think if you're a motivated self-learner and you have a Swiss German speaking person that you know very well, you could, if you're very motivated.
That would, now we come a bit to the point. So you have a Swiss German speaking person in your life, and you have the book.
Yes.
So am I the problem, or is your motivation there?
No, but this is a question that was asked in our Facebook group, actually, which is called Switzerland for English Speakers, if you're interested in joining. Someone posted in there, how come I'm going to a course when I could speak Swiss German with you?
Yes.
Good question.
Yeah, fair enough.
And I think the point of that is, and it's something that has come into my mind over the past 2 weeks of this course, is this big difference between passive learning and active learning. And I think when I'm listening to you speak or other people speak, that's really passive learning. And I've done quite a lot of that over the past 9 years, listening. So a lot of the words are kind of in my head somewhere, but I don't exactly know what they mean, or I wouldn't be able to use them, or maybe I know a sound of something, but I don't know the different words in it. And by going to a course, you're really actively trying to find something out, learn it, repeat it, remember it.
Yes, I think also we have quite often words that are made or mixed together. And when you say them, it sounds like one word, like was ist los? What's up?
Yep.
And was ist is like two words, like was ist. So what is up?
Yeah.
And it might sound like one word to somebody, but when you learn it at class, you might see, oh, it's actually two words. Or when you have it in a transcript written, then you see, and you can use it somewhere else. Is that what you mean?
Yeah. Completely.
Or that's how I imagine it.
Yeah, definitely.
So if you want to learn with me, I should make a transcript of what I'm saying.
That would be perfect, yeah. And then I could read along while you're speaking. Right, yeah.
And we could sell that then as a book, like weird thoughts of some random Swiss person. Great.
A running dialogue with Simon Zreed.
Yeah, great.
Perfect.
So that's actually quite a big advantage, I think so as well. Do you have any other advantages of making a course compared to just learning it in day life?
Yeah, well, I think the other thing is that when you start to do a course, unless you really keep that information to yourself, then it's kind of the starting shot on your Swiss German learning path. It's like, I've said to a few people I work with or that I know that I'm learning it now. So people are kind of interested in, what did you learn? What can you say? Can you understand me now? The ball has kind of started rolling with that.
Yeah. It's like a commitment of now it's on.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than just kind of taking it in and accepting, maybe I will,
Yeah, and
maybe
it
I
seems
won't
you
understand.
have learned already a few things in these 2 weeks, so hopefully you will learn it also faster, or what do you think?
Yeah, that's my hope, really, that it will enable me to learn it faster.
Yeah.
And the other interesting thing is, of course, there are other people in the class. There's 5 people in total in my class. And I think I'm probably the worst speaker so far. But maybe the others are just keeping quiet when they can't say something. I don't know. But it's nice to hear other people trying to speak it as well. Mm-hmm. You don't feel like such an idiot, you know? You can kind of take a chance and try and say a sentence.
Yes,
I would never do that in my normal life because it just sounds ridiculous so far.
Okay.
To me.
So say something now, please. No, that was just a joke. Anyway.
Joe has left the building.
So I imagine when I learned the language at school, you usually learn also a bit about the culture, background, and so on. Is that the same in your course?
Yeah, it is a little bit because, as I said, they go to different kind of scenarios with you. For example, at the post office or introducing yourself to people. And yeah, they explain kind of different things to you that you wouldn't have picked up on before.
Yeah, or songs,
like,
Swiss songs or radio or something, or do you do?
Yeah, so when we watched the TV clip, for example, they explained something about haunted houses in Bern.
You watch a TV
We watched the TV clip.
Ah, okay, yeah.
A small one.
Yes.
And it was a report about haunted houses in Bern.
Swiss German then, obviously, yes. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Or when you're at the post office, they talk about the different kind of stamps that you can get with this kind of... I wouldn't be able to reproduce the sentence, unfortunately, because it's very complicated, but the kind of names for different types of stamps.
Yeah.
Cigar or something.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about? You've got a blank look on your face. Or, you know, the different ways.
There's only like A-post or B-post, basically. No? Like 1 franc or...
Yeah, but the different kind of stamps that you can buy.
Okay. Used to
be able to buy.
Yeah.
Exactly. That was a vital piece of information.
Yeah, so it's good to learn something that you can't use anymore.
No, but you know, this is cultural knowledge that Swiss people have that we don't.
Yeah, exactly.
And we talked about a Swiss comedian who's famous for doing stuff at the post office, Emil, who I already know, but no one else in the class had heard of. And we...
I will also put to him a link because he is actually really famous, yes.
Yep. And because we're obviously learning from a very basic level... I found that we're also hearing Swiss German kids songs as well that you learned as a child, but otherwise I would never have heard.
Okay, now you could say, please sing one. But
and if you'd like to kick us off,
it's like,
I'll count you in.
Simon Reed has left the building. Anyway, so do you think there are disadvantages? Would you also say to some people, for you, it's better not to do it? Or
Well, obviously it costs money to go.
Yeah.
And it will cost you some time.
Yes.
Those are the main disadvantages, I think. You could go for a slightly cheaper course that's slightly shorter. My course started in February and will run till July, once a week.
Yeah, at the Migros Klubschule.
At the Migros Klubschule. Yes. But there was another course at the Berner Volkshochschule.
Yeah, Volkshochschule, yes.
Which was about 2 months long, I think, and therefore much cheaper.
Yes.
So you could have a look around where you are and pick one that suits your budget and time requirements.
Yeah. We made a show already about where you can learn Swiss German or how to learn Swiss German. And we linked there a few places where you can look for.
Yep.
So we will link that also on our website or in the show notes. So once you decided to go to a course, is there any specific... you didn't say, hurdles was wrong. So are there any rocks along the path to avoid?
No.
If someone says, I would like to make a Swiss German course now, what would you tell that person to look out for?
Yeah, I mean, just to bear in mind that you're only going to learn one local dialect, obviously.
Yeah, true. Very important point.
And on the one hand... I think foreigners talk about that quite a lot because they say, well, if I learn Bernese dialect, doesn't mean I'll be able to understand anyone in Zurich. But I mean, also, you only speak one dialect as a Swiss person.
Yes, I only speak one dialect, but I understand most dialects.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say I understand probably all dialects. Some understand maybe not so well the Walliser Deutsch or some other dialects, but most understand most dialects, and I think if you understand one dialect, you're probably quite good already to understand all of them because you try to listen more carefully. And then I also assume you would pick up more dialects than even a Swiss person. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you're listening out for the small variations.
Yeah, exactly. So I think,
and I also think that just learning one dialect is not a disadvantage.
Oh no.
That's no
Just
reason
go
not
for
to
it,
do
yeah.
a course.
Totally, yes. Totally. Or I would even say if you started to learn one in Zurich and then you move to Bern, you can just continue here. That's also okay.
Yeah, totally. That would even be
but-
quite good, wouldn't it? Because you'll have learnt some Zurich and then you can learn some
Yeah,
Bernese.
it's just then you have a mix of everything, so I think it doesn't really matter. Bernese has to be said, it's a bit slower than Zurich German, so it's maybe a bit easier to understand, I could imagine. Yeah. Is there anything else to look out for? You're doing the advanced course.
Yes, good. So this was quite a hassle when I was trying to figure out which course to do.
Yes.
Because you can either do a beginner's course or a slightly advanced or a slightly more advanced course. But it was hard to find out what do you need to be able to do an advanced course.
Just an entry test.
There's no entry test. And there's
no test at all.
There's no certified level.
Oh, because
either,
there is no really
there's
written
no exams.
grammar, then you also can't have an exam, really.
Yeah, I mean,
Maybe
there
you
are
could
rules
have
in
an-
grammar, but they don't have some kind of exam for it.
Yeah.
There's no exams.
Yeah.
So it was a bit
you can
difficult to
also
work
not
out which
make
one to do.
Sorry. So you also can't make really a certificate or anything.
Yeah, that's the other thing. If you want a certificate, maybe you'll be disappointed.
Yeah.
Or maybe they make you a special one at the course. I don't know. Anyhow, I went for the slightly advanced one.
So beginner is really brand new in Switzerland. Advanced is I understand already a tiny bit, and better.
That's what they said.
Okay, and then more advanced if you want to speak, probably also more.
I think so, yeah. Okay. I think the more advanced you get, they expect you to be wanting to speak it.
So as a summary, you would say, go and learn it.
Yeah, I think obviously there's the issue of money and time, but if that's not a problem for you and you say, yeah, I'm ready to pay for it and spend a little bit of time working on it, then basically you've got nothing to lose.
Yeah, it's totally true. I think so as well. It's really nice if you go for it, and
it's kind of an experiment as well.
Yeah, totally.
I'm really intrigued to see
meet some new people.
What is it going to be like at the end of July once I've completed it.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it, and we will definitely speak about it again, won't we?
We certainly will.
Okay, so as the last thing I wanted to say, wasn't our 1 year anniversary?
Yes! Of the podcast.
Yes.
The podcast has been running. The podcast has been running for an entire year already.
Yeah, cool.
Honestly, I can't believe it.
And then I think it's time for us to say to everyone, thank you very much for listening.
Yes,
and
indeed.
Thank you so very much for all the comments that you and or everyone who joined our Facebook group. And we have also many who gave us a review on iTunes and some stars. And it's just nice. Yeah. Still fun.
Time has flown.
Yeah. And also important, if you have any questions, send us an email at
hello@swissandchips.com.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. All right. Thanks for listening.
Bye.
Bye.